All right, so class, we don't have any lecture last week. So I have another 4 more chapters, including chapter 4. So we still have chapter 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, and 9, yeah? The rest of the 3 chapters, I will put it in asynchronous class, yeah? So you can see my pre-recorded video later on. But today I will try to cover chapter 9. There is biomechanics of human spine. So this is my last lecture with you. And starting next week, Dr. Faisal will take over the class. Okay. So after I finish this session today, I will invite Dr. Faisal into the group, into the WhatsApp group. And next week, he will start giving you lecture till the end of the semester. Okay, before I proceed with the lecture, there are a few announcements that I need to make. Okay, the first one. Today will be quiz number 1. Okay, I'll try to finish half an hour. And next week will be your lab sessions. So we'll start lab session number 1 next week. So if you refer to your timetable, we have 4 groups, 4 sessions. On Monday, 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. On Tuesday, we have 2:30 to 4:30 p.m. And then on Wednesday, we have from 10 to 12, and then from 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. So I think you have your own group right now. Dah ada group kan? Korang dah ada group ke?
Dah, betul.
Dah ada ya? So I think you have your own group, labs group right now. So we will start our lab next week. Just come to the labs, biomechanics lab at our blue building. Yeah? Try to find biomechanics lab, human motion and analysis lab, or some of them called biomechanics is different. Is the same lab, biomechanics or human motion analysis lab. Yeah, try to find that lab. Ground level. At the end of the building, you can ask anyone that you see over there lah. So we'll start next week. Okay, class, come on. Remember, next week will be your lab number 1. Please find the groups and check your schedule. So we have on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So just be there, okay? All the group members should be there because the lab session will be done in groups. It's not individual, but the report is individual. Okay, any other question for the lab session next week? Ada soalan tak? Tak ada soalan. Lab session will be done face to face, yeah? You need to come to the lab. I will be there. Alright? Ada soalan? Saya nampak Adam macam nak tanya soalan tadi.
Tak ada.
Ada ya? The rest. Orang dah nak prepare quiz ke? Relax je, quiz senang je. Any other questions? Any questions? Not any other questions, but any question regarding the lab session next week. Lab number 1 will only be conducted next week, yeah? There is no other weeks for lab session number 1. Only next week. So you need to come next week. If you cannot come on Monday, then you need to readjust your schedule because we have another session on Tuesday and Wednesday. Yeah? And then the following week, on Monday night, during my asynchronous session, I will conduct test number 1. Test number 1. That contribute 10%. Yeah? So, next week will be your lab sessions. 1 week after that, on Monday night, I will conduct test 1 or your midterm test. Face to face. I've been told that last night you have your biomaterials test. Betul ke?
Ya, ya
Yes,
betul.
Doctor.
Betul eh? So I'll try to book the lecture hall uh, over there that you done your biomaterials lab. Then I'll let you know which lecture hall that you'll conduct the test. Okay. So but remember on Monday night there will be your test 1. Ada soalan? Any questions? Ada soalan? No.
Next week or bila Doctor?
Next week lab session. Next 2 week will be your test number 1. Tu saya tanya, ada soalan ke? 6 August will be public holiday kan? Betul ke? Orang ni dah tak ingat tarikh dah ni. Okay, sekejap saya buka kalender Okay, so next week on Monday 3rd June. Betul ke? Sorry. 30th of May next week Next week 30th of May is on Monday. The coming week 6 May is the public holiday. Betul kan? Saya termis yang tu. So I will conduct my test 1 the coming week. That will be 13th of June. 13th of June is your test number 1. Okay. 13th of June night night session Is it okay class? Boleh Ada banyak masa lagi ni.
Boleh Doctor.
Okay Next week, the whole week we'll done our lab session number 1. And then on 13th of June will be your test 1. And remember next week Dr. Faizal will take over the lecture, okay? So any more questions regarding lab session and test 1? Ada soalan? Ada?
Doktor.
Yep.
Masuk sampai tajuk apa?
Semua tajuk yang saya cover from chapter 1 until chapter 9. Ni chapter 9 ni.
Okey, Doktor.
Okay. The question is from chapter 1 to chapter 9 So that is from my side. This one is just from my side. So from my lecture. But your final exam will be a combination of questions from me and Dr. Faizal. There will be a theoretical part and there will be also a calculation part. Okay. For test 1, there will be 3 questions. Question 1, 2, 3. Question 1A, 2A, 3A will be theoretical part. Question 1B, 2B, 3B will be calculation part. Okay, Okay, class. Can we move the lecture? Kita start lecture sikit Boleh ke? Boleh ke?
Boleh Doctor.
Boleh, Doctor, boleh.
Orang ni dah makan ke belum ni? Okay, so today will be a topic that relate to human spine. Spine. In Malay we call it tulang belakang Tulang belakang. So from here, from this figure, from these animations, this is our spine. Okay? It have a curvature, ada lengkung So from here, straight away you can see there are 4 different colors. 4 different parts. The first part at the top, and we have the green part over here. That is the second part Then we have the third part, the blue color over here. Then the red, the last one. Okay, like a brown color. So you have 4 main part actually in human spine. Ada 4 part major area, 4 major areas of human spine. So if I ask you, how many parts do we have in our human spine? Major part, yeah? There will be 4. You can see from the color over here, yeah? So, and then in the middle we have 2, and then the last one will be the brown color. So that will be our human spine. Okay. So from here, the top area, we call it cervical region. Okay. And then we move to thoracic region. Okay. The largest area is thoracic region. And then we have lumbar region that consists of 5 vertebrae. And then the last part, the brown color, I've just shown you just now, the brown color at the bottom, we call it pelvic curvature, or in pelvic curvature, we have sacrum and coccyx, yeah? So you have 2 parts in pelvic curvature. There is sacrum and coccyx. So basically we have 4 regions. The first one should be cervical vertebra. The second one is thoracic region. The third one is lumbar region. The last one is pelvic curvature that consists sacrum and coccyx. Yeah. So from this animation again, okay, this is the first one, cervical region, and then we move to the second one, the second part. So what is the second part, class? First is coccyx. First is cervical. The second one is
Thoracic.
apa? Again?
Thoracic.
Thoracic. All right. That is the second area. Okay. This is the third area. This one. That is your lumbar. So lumbar is L1, L2, L3, L4. So this is lumbar, L5, lumbar. And then the third one, the last one is combination of, this is sacrum, and the last one is coccyx, yeah? So this is pelvic curvature. So you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that is the location of that 4 main parts. Okay, nampak eh? Sacrum, coccyx, cervical, lumbar, thoracic. Clear? Faham ke?
Yeah.
Yeah, very easy. Alright, then we move to the next slide. Dah lagi tak? Okay, structure of the spine. So what is a structure of the spine? Typically, it's a vertebra consists of a body, a hollow ring known as the neural arch. From this figure, you can see that we have a hollow area over here. Here also we have the hollow area at the vertebra, and here also we have the hollow area. So that hollow area, we call it neural arch. Yeah? So it serves as the primary weight-bearing component of the spine. Okay, all vertebrae have the hollow ring. Nampak? Semua ada hollow ring, eh? Hollow area or hollow ring that we call it neural arch. Alright. So what type of joint connect adjacent vertebra? There are 2 types of joint that connect the adjacent vertebra. The first one is symphysis joint. Okay. The second one is facet joint. Facet joint basically on the posterior side. Symphysis joint is basically on the anterior side of the vertebra. Anterior, what is the meaning of anterior? Can anyone tell me what is anterior? What is posterior? Anterior apa? Anyone? Come on. What is anterior? What is posterior? Tak nak jawab quiz ni. Ada siapa-siapa nak tolong saya? Anybody that the one will help me to define anterior or to define posterior? Ada tak? Come on. Come on lah kelas.
Depan belakang.
Okay, front and back. Bagus. Anterior is front or posterior is front?
Anterior front.
Okay, good. So anterior is front, posterior is at the back of our body, yeah? So same goes to here. To support the front vertebra, so that will be a symphysis joint that connect adjacent vertebra, and to connect the posterior side, there will be a facet joint over there. Okay. Okay, the next one. What is the function of the facet joint? You can see here, yeah, class. The facet joint, yeah. This is the facet joint. Okay. Yeah. That connect between the adjacent vertebra. We have the facet joint over here. So what is the function of facet joint? Okay. To channel and limit the range of motion in different region of the spine. Okay, it will limit the range of motion. And then the other function is to assist in load bearing, sustaining up to 30% of the compressive load on the spine. Basically in hyperextension. Extension yang berlebihan, ya. So that is the function of the facet joint. Okay, apa lagi kita ada? Banyak kat sini, ya. So this is the structure of the spine. No need to memorize all those labeling. Just aware of that only. No need to memorize, ya. Jangan hafal, ya. I will not ask you to draw this figure in your final exam, in your test 1. Don't worry. Okay? At least you know that is the structure of the spine. So we have nucleus pulposus, and then we have so on and so forth. Okay? Tak perlu hafal, ya. What are the primary spinal curve? When we talk about primary spinal curve, it consists of thoracic and sacral curve. Concave anteriorly, meaning that it bend. Concave tu lengkung, eh? In Malay we call it lengkung, concave, or bend. Bending anteriorly, bending to the front of our body. Anterior is front, eh? Basically, thoracic and sacral curve are present at birth. So this is spinal curvature, or primary spinal curve. Only consists of thoracic and sacral curve. Then what is secondary spinal curve? So you need to know how to differentiate between these two structure of the spine. One is primary, the second one is secondary. Secondary spinal curve consists of lumbar and cervical curve. First one is thoracic and sacral. The second one is lumbar and cervical curve. Concave posteriorly, bend backward of our body. So that vertebra bend backward of our body, okay? Concave posteriorly, ya. Lengkungan dia ke belakang badan. It developed from supporting the body in an upright position after young children begin to sit and stand. So the primary is present at birth, then it moved to the secondary spinal curve that developed after young children begin to sit and stand. This is abnormalities of our spine. Okay, abnormalities of the spine. One, we have lordosis. Second one is kyphosis. And the third one is scoliosis. So there will be three main abnormalities in human spine. From the figure, the first figure is normal spine in standing positions. The second one is lordosis. You can see the extreme lumbar curve over there. And then the third figure is kyphosis, extreme thoracic curve at the spine. And the last one is scoliosis, lateral spinal curvature. Dia ada bengkok, dia macam S ya. You can see that. It's like S word over there. So 3 abnormalities, remember. The tiga eh. So what is the movement of the spine that are allowed? The movement capabilities of the spine are those of a ball and socket joint, including movement in all three planes that we have. Okay, class, what are the 3 main planes of human body? Apa 3 main plane eh? Boleh share dengan saya tak? Can you share with me, class? What are the 3 main planes in our body? Mana? Mana ni?
Sagittal, transverse.
Sagittal, transverse and frontal.
Frontal.
Okay, good. Boleh pun.
Sagittal, coronal,
Sagittal, transverse and
transverse.
okay. Sagittal, transverse and frontal eh? Betul eh? Setuju? Agree?
Setuju.
Korang ni, pagi-pagi Jumaat dah semua slow ni. So, it relate to ball and socket joint. Basically, spine, the movement is related to ball and socket joint, okay? From the figure also, you can see the female gymnast undergo extreme lumbar hyperextension, yeah? Okay, we have a lot more movement of the spine that relate to some sort of muscles. So this is the muscle that relate to the neck, yeah. Again, tak perlu hafal. Okay, just a brief introduction to you that there are a few muscles in our neck that also relate to the spine. Okay, so we call it cervical spinal flexor muscles. So this is abdominal spinal flexor muscles that also connect to the spine. So it includes rectus abdominis, internal obliques. At least you know, at least you heard the names of that muscle. So we have again rectus abdominis, internal obliques, external obliques. So that relate to the abdominal spinal flexor muscles of the spine, yeah? Then we also have cervical spinal extensor. This is for extensions of the spine. Previous one is for flexor or flexion of the spine. Different part, yeah? Flexion, extension, different movement. So we have different muscles that relate to that movement. So again, there is a lot of muscles that been related to extension movement of the spine, yeah? Then we have thoracic lumbar spinal extension muscles and so on and so forth. You can read from here. But don't worry, again, I repeat it again, I will not ask about can you draw and label all those muscles. No, yeah? What forces commonly act on the spine? Apa yang selalunya bertindak atas spine kita? What is the forces or anything that commonly act on the spine? Basically, we have our own body weight that act on the spine, and then tension in ligament. We have tension in muscles. So ligament and muscle is 2 different things. And any external loads carried in the hand. that will also give the effect on our spine, yeah? So this is a load on the spine by body weight. Okay, and then we have tension, compression, and also shear forces. Okay, I said to you just now, we have compression, shear, and also tension. When we have something in our hand, it will give a tension, a compression, and also a shear force on the spine, yeah? Okay, and I will move to the last slide. Common injuries of the back and neck. Basically, when we talk about spine, so there will be a lot of injuries that relate to the back and also our neck. So some few examples are low back pain, soft tissues injuries, acute fractures, stress fractures, disc herniations, and the last one is whiplash injuries. So this is the common injuries that relate to our back of the body and also our neck, yeah? Okay, I think that's it for chapter 9. It's very straightforward. The things that you need to know and the things that you need to focus is we have 4 main regions in our spine. First one is cervical vertebra. The second one is thoracic vertebra. The third one is lumbar vertebra. And the last one is pelvis curvature. In pelvic curvature, we have sacrum and also coccyx. So remember class, in cervical vertebra, how many vertebra that we have in that area? So this one also you need to know. That will be in your first slide. In cervical region, we have 7 vertebra. In thoracic region, we have 12 vertebra. Lumbar region, we have 5 vertebra. That's why when you have slip disc or any problem that relate to back of your body, some of the disease or some of the injuries, we call it, so L1, have you ever heard L1, L2, L3, L4, L5 that relate to back problems? So that L1, L2, L3, L4, L5 is related to lumbar region. Yeah? That's why we have L over there. L is for lumbar. Okay, any other questions? Before we proceed with quiz number 1. Ada soalan ke?
So far, no.
Okay, so far no. Okay, right. Right, so can we move to quiz 1? Boleh?
Boleh dah.
Boleh.
Boleh je.
Boleh doktor.
Alright, no need to turn on your camera, ya. Tak apa. I believe in you. Okay, please take a piece of paper. Before that, I will stop this recording, okay? And don't forget to fill up your attendance, yeah? I've already shared the link in the chat box.